Hey, Rook Knight here. Thanks for joining me, and I wanted to show you a lock stand that I made. I've actually made it out of spare parts and scratch I had laying around, and I thought it might be interesting to somebody that was looking to make one. But to shut up and show is this is it right here. It has 9 mortise cylinders and 1 padlock holder. Just got a little base on the bottom. You can see it's got the backs there, and what I wanted to talk about was basically how I went about able to install these. So to make a long story short, or try to get to the point, you would have need, and normally you would need to have like locking screw or nuts rather that would go on to the cylinder and screw onto these threads here and lock each one in place to make a tight fit so they don't spin around inside the hole. Well, that would have been kind of expensive. I mean, I've seen them as low as like $2 and change, all the way up to like $5 a piece. And as for these being a few different brands, I wasn't sure if one one brand would work for all of them. And so that would put me up to $30-40 maybe just for 9 of them, including shipping and stuff like that. So I didn't want to take a chance of having them not work. And I also, as you can see, this is somewhat kind of a thick piece of wood, so as this is showing a lot of threads, this shows very little, so I didn't know how well it would be to screw tightly on. So what I did was I actually drilled a hole next to each one of them and into the chamber of the hole, and then and threaded it, and then used basically a 1/2 inch set screw. And so this is a 6 and 32 times 1/2 set screw, and then this is the 1/16 of a hex key. But all you do is you just screw it in there and it locks into place. Now it's important to make sure that you get a tight fit, so you want the hole just to be big enough to fit one of these inside. So what I did here is I used one of these, and this is actually almost the exact same size as a mortise cylinder. So this is actually 28 millimeter. This drills a 28 millimeter hole. And then what I did is I did some sanding with like a burr on a Dremel to open the hole just a little bit, just enough so I could fit each one in perfectly. And hold on, I have actually some spare parts here so I can show you a better idea. So basically I drilled the hole, I threaded it, and as you can see, it's inside going at an angle, and then what happens is it locks into place. I can actually take one out here. Let me take that off, and then if I go inside, I can unscrew, and then I easily just pop it out. And I thought something that was kind of cool was some of these are actually American lock company brand mortise locks. I got these really cheap, actually, a really great deal. I think I paid less than $30 for all of these, so like $3 a piece almost, and most of them had keys, which was really cool. And I'm slowly going through changing them out with harder pins and stuff like that, more security pins in them and stuff. But anyway, as you can see, the hole, you basically just have to push it in, line it up, make sure that the pins are facing up, and then you just tighten in the set screw. And now when you turn this back around, if I take the key out a little bit, it doesn't turn at all. So your cylinder is staying there. So when you're adding tension with your tensioner, you're not going to have that spinning inside the hole. A really easy, quick fix if you're looking to do this. So instead of having to spend money on a nut for each one, and hopefully it's the right brand anyway or whatever. It probably would be. I think it's one size fit all, but I didn't want to take the chance because I wasn't 100% sure. But the set screws rather, I paid, I want to say $9 for 50 of these, and I only use 9, so I have a whole bunch more for other projects and stuff. So $9 compared to $40 that I would have spent, definitely a time saver and a money saver. And like I said, they're really easy to pop in and out. So if I want to replace the pins, it's super simple. Just take my 1/16 hex key and go ahead. And I have a few variants here. I have SE ones, I have KW ones, and I think I even have this one here. I think is an LW5 actually, made by American. That's another story though. But I also wanted to go into detail. If you're still watching, I wanted to show you how I made this actually, because this was made out of an old sign. My brother actually came across a bunch of oak signs that people were throwing away, and I wanted to show you. This is what it originally similarly looked like. It was another weird phrase on it or something like that, but as you can see, it's actually engraved. So what I had to do to fix that was I had a spare piece laying around from another project, and I practiced to see. And what I did was, you can see the engraving here. I got some plastic wood, that DAP plastic wood, and I filled it in and sanded it down, and then I painted it. So, you could see the lettering a little tiny bit, but really, if you're not looking for it, you can't see it. I'm sure when I was showing you the back of the stand, that the last thing you seen was, letters. But that's what you would have seen if I didn't do this anyway. But just a fun little thing, a little upcycle. If you have things laying around, you can look at it differently. Also, on top of picking, this thing is great for doing practice with your leashes. Really had a lot of fun practicing with my leashes with this. Another thing too is, with this being a small stand, you can put this anywhere on a top shelf and try to pick locks, above your head. You can put this on the floor, lay on the floor, try to pick the locks. All different size tables you could set it on, and make your hands have to pick at a different, angles and stuff like that. But really a cool and helpful piece of kit. I think anybody that's into lock picking, and if you're good with some power tools, I highly suggest you try doing this. This really is a fun little idea, and it's really helpful for practice. And like I said, these set screws were the perfect way to lock each one in place. Just like I said, make sure it's a snug fit. You don't want too big a hole, because it might put the cylinder at an angle when you're putting the set screw in. So as long as you have a tight fit on the hole, once you set your mortise in and you tighten your set screw, they're in there. They're not coming out. You can see here, I can, pull each key out and try to turn it, and they don't budge. So it's definitely worth its weight. Now, I mean, if you were doing a real mortise installation, that's not going to work. But as for, your homemade stuff, this is a perfect answer for being able to, tighten up the cylinder inside the hole, and as well as being able to easily remove it and stuff like that. So with that, guys, I'll let you go. Maybe we'll see this again, another visit to it. Maybe I should do some leashy picking on it or something like that. And with that, I'll let you all go. I hope everybody's doing well. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for subscribing. I appreciate all of you. I love you guys. You guys honestly make it all worthwhile. So I hope you guys are having a good one and enjoy yourself. Thanks.